You have run your life into a ditch. That ego and that pride, sis, fucks so many black women up. You
It
got too
does.
much ego and pride.
People don't even want to engage with black women because that attitude is very rough.
So I think you're disrespectful for running around acting like this does not exist. Women like that are your enemy, sister. Women like that are your enemy. Women like is the average woman, the average girl. And she knows that she's got to go work and make money. So this is where your attorneys, your doctors, your lawyers, your finance people. This is
It burns.
I know it burns.
Oh, it burns.
I know.
All these German shepherds. They turn their head to the side and act like they don't smell it.
Let's cleanse the environment of Ratchet. First, we cleanse the environment of Ratchet with sage. Num num urenge ochoyo. Num num urenge ochoyo. Everybody makes a mistake. True. I was young and dumb. Fine. Doesn't French toast matter? Saying I deserve and I deserve and I deserve. And then getting mad when you get in that plot by yourself. Green, I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired on my own. So many women are so tired of being alone. And it is written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. They're going to be behind your children and behind possibly another man, your friends, pets, your desires. A man is going to come where? Fourth, fifth? Age, children, excessive mileage of all types, lack of fitness, all lower you.
They failed at controlling their pussy, protecting their pussy, and even maintaining and cleansing their pussy.
Are you grade A? Hell no. Why don't you just become the women that your mother, your grandmother, and your great grandmother were? You know, the women that got married and kept men? Why don't you become the women that men actually want? And they're all saying the same things. They had a relationship and marriage or a relationship and engagement. It fell apart. It didn't work. And they're walking through, or a long relationship, and they're walking through the rest of the life like the Walking Dead. You got minimum opportunities. I'm just saying, it's your age. All women. 27 time to sell. Over 30, 50% off. 35 clearance. 40 outlet. 50 Goodwill. So you don't mind having uncommitted sex?
I don't.
Where you can have a woman who has a PhD.
I'm a PhD.
Then over on this hand, this woman can have a GED. But if you look at the outcomes, the attitudes, the thought processes, even the behaviors, at a glance, you can make an argument that there's not much difference. You don't have the primary relationship, a man, the first business, your first network is family. You don't have it. You have shit. You have stuff. You have bags and purses and coats and trips and dogs and plants and candles and fragrance and shoes and shit.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
Amen.
That nigga, what's good? We just gonna cook up, man. I've been thinking, man. I don't know, man. I don't even know why I do this shit. I ain't gonna lie, man. I know you guys tell me to do it. I do have fun, but I watch other people, man. And I see what's going on, man. Like, being that our channel's not getting any, we don't get shit. Let's just call it what it is. Like I said, that nigga, it's very important. That nigga, I appreciate you. Let me tell you something. I have this other channel. You gotta click the back chat so I can send you the channel. I'm not just gonna put it out there for these other people that don't support us. You know what I'm saying? So I got another channel that we're gonna start clean with, because this channel has been sullied. But let's continue with the intro.
Friend, if you swallowing, goggling, girlfriend, if you swallowing, goggling. Yes, 'cause you gave me all your pussy. I just wanna freak your body, yaddy, yaddy. I know you don't do this for everybody. Negro, remember when I used to love you. Girlfriend, if you swallowing, goggling.
Now, black women are out here ready to support this June 14th thing. Okay? Black women are ready to support June 14th. Yo, I do agree that nigga. I was saying to myself, I said, damn. I sit around and all I cover is this shit. So I did say that to myself. I said, all I do is cover this shit. So I was like, damn. I'm all fucked up on that. But anyway, black women are supporting immigration. They're supporting the immigrants, and they're also supporting this June 14th protest. Okay, the June 14th protest. Let's go to that. The June 14th protest, black women are supporting, and we just sit there and we say to ourselves, we are a messed up community. You hear me? How can this ever work if black women are just gonna do any damn thing? And then we got to sit here and hear you talk about, hey, black people. Ma'am, you don't consider yourself a black people. A black man is a black person, and you don't consider yourself part of him. So you keep saying black people. Yo, these people are some of the worst people, man. And I hate to be like that, but every time I turn around, they're using the systemic programming, and it's like, yo, that ain't my sister. But some of the other women say, oh, I want to support deportation. Bitch, you voted for Kamala. Like, what are we doing?
There's a protest happening on Saturday, and something don't feel right. It's not about the protest side. I don't know. I cannot put my finger on it, but the Lord all day yesterday was like, something's going to happen. Something don't feel right. If you're not going to go protest, stay home. Stay home. If you have political signs in your yard, take them down. Going to protest. Please listen to me so clearly. Be so peaceful that if they retaliate, it looks bad on them. Back if they start fighting you, but do not start that fight. And if you are a green card holder, do not go to the protest because it feels like a trap. Be careful. Just be careful because something don't feel right. That's all I'm going to say.
We're going to go through this, man. Every time, at least over here, every time we showcase the black woman, I want to show them in a better light. But how can you? How can you? Bitch ain't sitting there saying, yo, me and my husband was talking about this.
Good morning, my loves. Today is...
Do y'all know how much of a terrible person you gotta be to know that there are multiple demonstrations being...
Now, I don't know if that's a girl or a boy. And black women need to check that shit.
All right, so I'm not finna spill mad tea, but a man was found hanging in my city today. Yes, he was black, and yes, he was found with his flag in his hand. With that being said, to all my black people, yes, this is for Black TikTok. You guys need to ammo up. Get your licenses that carry, open carry license. Shit's getting sticky. Y'all thought when they was...
What I tell y'all the other day, black women are the ones out here trying to create a race war with Twitter fingers. Bitch, yo, bro. Yo, they gonna kill us, man. Sorry about that.
So when the Proud Boys was protesting over there, wherever the fuck they was protesting, that wasn't a warning. Black people have been found hanging in trees since the Proud Boys have been protesting. I need y'all to understand that. Y'all forgot about the boy who was in North Carolina. Y'all forgot about the boy hanging in Jersey. We gonna forget about this guy in my city too?
Will that let you go be with a black man so that you can have more strength by your side? Yeah, I don't know if I try to do this shit, but they piss me off so much because they are fucking race hustlers, and they really, really. And this is, let me tell you another thing, man. And this is a major problem. And I don't give a fuck who get offended by it. Let me tell y'all another thing, man. And it's fucked up. Because what happened on this, especially this side of the internet, just this side for the most part, but it's trying to spread. Everybody is against street culture. Now, I'm not saying it's the best thing to be, but at the same time, who the fuck is protecting these people? Like bitches like this. Like these are the bitches that talk bad about street people like myself, but we are the people that protect bald-headed bitches like this. She get to run her mouth, do all this gangster shit. But you know what, guys? That's what made me come up with this thing right here. Because they made the street niggas like myself fall out of love with them. Yeah, I don't give a fuck no more. You know? They are not going to get me in a war over and over and over and over. Because it don't fall on nobody but the dudes that's in the street. I'm not in the street, but you know, street dudes or whatever. They don't fall on nobody but them. You know? All this other upper class shit, ain't nobody getting hurt. She's talking about people that got hurt. Yeah, regular street people. Poor people. I don't like that shit, yo. They paying them protesters $200 a day, really? Yo, son, when they came to New York and I was down there by 125th. I was like, man, this BLM, because you got to realize BLM wasn't shit. I don't know no street niggas that participated in that, at least not from New York. I don't know no street niggas. I don't know no gangs. I don't know no live niggas that participated in that shit. But I tell you who did, black women. So I was on 125th, right? And I was over at the soul food buffet, right? And yo, this white dude, he comes walking through. I'm talking about, you want to talk about a Berbeeketer, Poindexter? He was like a bird beak. This dude had on all black, right? Then he had he had on white letters, Black Lives Matter. He had on black gloves, and he was carrying a cardboard sign talking about Black Lives. I was like, yo, that nigga ain't with me. I was like, wow. But guess who was out there? Black women jumping in front of police.
Let me start by saying,
and
this information that I'm.
Yo, I had homies. Yo, I had this one homie, my homie Flav. Yo, it's so fucked up. His girl done got us in so many fucking fights. Do you understand that? Rest in peace. She died. But yo, his girl got in so many fights. Got us in so many fights. So many gun wars and beefs. And she was just like she taught these younger bitches how to be. So what she would do, say we somewhere in a club anywhere, and this bitch find herself in beef, right? She knows that if she swing on a man and a man try to defend himself, we gonna do something to him. Like, she was the worst, son. Yo, we hated that shit, man. That shit was crazy, man. Shit is bad.
Only for people that intend to protest. It is not trying to convince anybody to do anything. Okay, I feel like I have to give that disclaimer. So I've been to multiple protests or participated in multiple protests in my life.
But why? Why would you be in any protest instead of the protest to stop abortion? Why are you in any protest other than that? Yo, brothers, let's try to get through this.
And I've never once been hurt or injured. Actually, I've never been to a protest where anybody has been hurt. I know that this happens, but I'm just saying personally, I've not attended, not been there. Now, there have been situations in which I saw people were getting a little too heated. And that's when I removed myself from that situation.
But are you strong enough to fight? What is this? So, guys, we're trying to break down the black woman on how and why could she be involved in this stuff besides just, I guess, say, be seen, make TikToks. I don't know.
Hi, did you hear about the billionaires protest this weekend? That's right. This weekend, the billionaires are going in all over the United States. And what they're doing is that they're using illegal immigrants and just regular Americans to help them in their quest of globalism. And that's what it is. You know, they are making people think that they're protesting against ICE. That's not what you're doing. What they're really doing is that they're causing chaos, because that is how they plan to rule and take over everyone all over the world, through chaos. They're not just doing it in the United States. It's happening all over the globe. And
you understand, black man? Hope you understand.
Hey, y'all, just coming through right quick. Listen, if you all are following the LA protests and things like that, listen, y'all, President Donald Trump has basically sent out the National Guard and Marines into that area to basically create more chaos than it should be. I think that when they got out there, those people were trying to protest peaceably. And what they're...
The bitch said peaceably. Yo, the bitch said peaceably. Find out if that's a word, man.
Trying to protest peaceably. And what they're protesting is the fact that ICE is out there taking on people, not criminals, but taking on all immigrants, y'all. So that's what the people concern is.
Brothers, please help me through this, man. Give me some thoughts.
So they asked Donald Trump today if he would invoke the Insurrection Act, and he said he's not going to rule it out. He probably will, because looking at what was going on over in LA, he probably needs to. But listen, y'all, they called for Governor Newsom to be jailed on yesterday. We got the Speaker of the House, Johnson, and stuff. They're calling for him to be tethered and whatever. But
boy, we fucked up. We are some fucked up people. Let me tell you, man.
I came across a video with a black woman talking about transactional solidarity.
Pay attention, man. These women, they could do this video with their husband. Don't y'all know that? They could do this video with their husband. Uh-oh, there's one problem. Hold on. Brothers, they can do this video with their husband there. There's one major problem, though. Ain't no damn husband.
Specifically named the 92% and said, y'all need to stop doing that. And I responded. And this video is less about doubling down on my response to that young lady, even though I am doubling down with it. It is also to anyone in the 92% who is opting out. Don't let nobody shame you or criticize you into standing up.
Anybody in the 92%, 92% of black women voted for Kamala. So you know how to talk in code. You know how to be clever. That's why that's why I don't want to break this down, because it'll really expose these women. So you know how to be clever. If you was with a man, you would know how to be clever, and y'all could have codes and everything. So you know how to do all the fly shit.
Is opting out. Don't let nobody shame you. It is also to anyone in the 92% who is opting out. Don't let nobody shame you or criticize you into standing up. I was at the Paramount protest yesterday, and today I rested and I'm taking my ass to the grocery store. There's planned at least 30 days of ICE enforcement being deployed into the LA County area. So for at least the next 30 days, they're going to be tactically trying to extract people from our neighborhoods, from our cities. You don't have to show up every day. You don't even have to show up in the ways that people were telling you to show up.
There you have it, man. These black women have a code that black men are not in tune with. We don't even know what they're doing half the damn time.
We all know that Saturday, June 14th is Nationwide Day of Defiance, otherwise known as 17 Cities, One Event, otherwise known as No Kings. If you are not attending this event, you need to stay your butt home. This is rumored to be the biggest protest that we've had in our lifetime. I'm not here to sway you one way or the other. I personally don't give a shit if you go. If your profession requires you to go to work on Saturday, don't pass go, don't collect $200, go to work and go straight home. In fact, I would even consider getting gas like tomorrow. There are already convoys on their way to LA, Las Vegas, Colorado, Houston, and New York. I don't know why they feel the need to travel across the country when it's happening in about 10,000 cities. So don't get...
There you go, guys. Now you see that, and black women supposed to be in with this.
So it looks like the conversation is back again about the Black community not being there to help with the crisis going on with the Latino community, even though the Latino community overwhelmingly voted for exactly what's going on here, and we didn't. We overwhelmingly voted against this, and we're being asked why we're not helping. We helped already.
I hope you black men can understand what she just said. We voted for y'all to be here. We voted for y'all to be here illegally. We told y'all, if you vote for Kamala, you won't have to worry about deportation. That's what the black woman just told you.
Going on with the Latino community, even though the Latino community overwhelmingly voted for exactly what's going on here, and we didn't. We overwhelmingly voted against this, and we're being asked why we're not helping. We helped already. But for the Black people that are listening, I do have a sentence in Spanish I want us to practice saying. Are y'all ready? I'm going to say it twice, and we're going to have to practice, okay? Rewind the clip, whatever you need to do. Nosotros, los monos, no podemos ayudarte. Here we go again. Nosotros, los monos, no podemos ayudarte. And it means we monkeys can't help you, because we're not going to fake like y'all didn't call us monkeys.
There you have it, black man. Yeah. Help me out here, man. Give me some thoughts here, man. Give me your thoughts so far, man. Hold on. Give me your thoughts, man. I'm not learning no Spanish. They need to learn English. You damn right. We got the double Brandons in the building. It's going down.
Negro! Niggas! Yeah. Negro! Niggas! Yeah.
We got the double Brandons. Let's go. Sometimes that TikTok get to skipping, but check this out.
I also want to mention, I know there's a lot of Black people, as a Black person myself, as a Black woman, I see it. I know some people are saying this isn't our fight. Let's stay out of it. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised like that. That's not me. So,
ma'am, Ma'am, see, this is my problem, y'all. I try to get through this, but we have rules over here, black sister. I'm sorry. Do you support baby deletion? In the black community, the rules that we have over here, we have a number. Abortion, the over-under is 2. You either fall under that or over that, but you are not a 0. So all of this, you wasn't raised like that shit, miss me.
There's a lot of black people, as a black person myself, as a black woman, I see it. I know some people are saying this isn't our fight, let's stay out of it. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised like that. That's not me. So, and I really think there's nothing wrong with standing together and being there for each other. I know some people are like, hey, this many people voted for him. What about the people that didn't? Okay? Because not everyone voted for him. Okay? There are some people that did. Absolutely. But the ones who didn't, who are still being impacted by this, it's not fair and it's not right. And if we don't all stand together as black people, if you think he's going to leave us alone, you are sadly mistaken. Please, let's not be dumb. Let's not do that. Let's at least be smart. Okay? If you think this isn't our fight so we can mind our business because he's going to leave us alone, gonna have a rude awakening, a very rude awakening. And as a black woman, what if women's rights currently are also being attacked? What if we were like, oh, screw it. What if every man in the world was like, you know what, they got it. We're just gonna mind our business. We would never get anywhere. We wouldn't have any sense, any ounce of equality, any progress, none of it, because everyone wants to mind their business. We cannot just mind our business. It's everybody's fight. People are being attacked simply because of their skin color.
Your thoughts, players. Players, your thoughts. Come on, don't leave me out here. That's a lie. Your parents would tell you, stay out of people's business. You damn right. You damn right. She know what it is, man. It's called independence. It's called independence, pimp. Freedom. Say she will walk in the room, get her head knocked off. She is a disaster. Brother, you know what this is, Brandon, man. You think we want this for our sisters?
Baby, when I used to love you.
We used to love these bitches, B. We used to love these bitches, man. You see what they did to us? They have deprogrammed us, man. That shit is fucked up what they did to us, B. I'm going to tell you, man, that shit is fucked up.
Hello, my name is Aline, and for those of you who know me personally, like my friends and families, you guys know that I am an immigrant.
There we go. Yeah, we are fucked up out here. Dang, hold on. Sometimes it skips, guys.
Okay, guys, this is for my immigrant community. I need you to listen up and I need you to take notes if you have to, okay? It is time to stay prepared and protected whether you are undocumented, you are a DACA recipient, green card holder, or even a U.S. citizen. You need to take the following steps so in case, you get stopped by ICE.
I'm out for it if it needs to be, but if you call yourself an activist and an abolitionist in your community, I don't think you can nitpick which parts of the movement you're going to stand in solidarity for. Because as a 92%er and a...
What I tell y'all, this 92%er. What I tell y'all. Hold on. I think that's something new we could type in. 92%ers. What the fuck? What the fuck? 92%ers against ICE. What the fuck? What the yo, these black bitches are wicked, son.
My husband works in a restaurant here in Atlanta.
Okay, at least this ugly bitch got a husband. I'm cool with that.
So I'm normally not concerned about what my old friends are doing that I'm not.
Oh God, that's too far. The 92% shit is a little too far. Let's see what this player got to say, man. Because the black men, they're not with this shit.
This upcoming Saturday, June 14th, there are nationwide protests in the United States.
Fuck you, bitch. I want to hear what my brother Brandon said. Fuck you, bitch. When you start hearing women say fight for other groups of people, they are disasters. Tell me about it. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm going to type in. Hold on. Because what happens is, this shit is crazy. They talking about, yo, you're separating people from their families. Ma'am, fuck you talking about? All you do is delete babies. That shit is crazy. Now, these people are the worst. Man. All right. I'm not going to put black women. Hold on, parent. They'll just pop up in anybody's feed. You know how they do. All right, so we got that set up. Let's get back to these bitches. A lot of women, they will tell you what kind of man or group of people they like up to be around. If they don't say a color man, they love and worry about other people's business, not your own. It's sad, King. You hear about some of these black women trying to come back to black men with 2 mixed kids. Yes. The Most High is going to take care of them. They are messed up people. The Mexicans protest against black Americans getting reparations. For sure. It's crazy, man. I don't see how. It's just sad when you can see your own sisters with everybody besides you. It really is, man. It's sad when you can see your own sisters. You like, ma'am.
The response we're seeing from black people around these protests is a trauma.
First of all, there's some of the yo, dog. These black women are some of the weirdest looking motherfuckers you ever. Yo, they are the weirdest group of looking women. They fucking look weird.
As someone that has been through trauma therapy since 2017 and has been a support system for people that also have been healing their trauma, I'm telling you that is exactly what is happening, especially the hypervigilance, because that is what I'm seeing specifically around these protests right now. Because traditionally speaking, we are called on a lot to fix other people's problems. That's been an irritation of mine for forever.
Yo, Brandon, you finally did something for me, Brandon. You never hit the fucking Cash App or anything like that, but you finally did something. You made me remember what I've been wanting to put up. Yo, you reminded me of the most important. I've been having this stuff up here for a while, but I never get to do my ICE stuff. So yeah, Brandon, you hit the jackpot today, B. I've been meaning to do this, man. This shit is wild because it pains me when people think that we are the dumb ones. And not, black man dumb. No, bitch. I've been holding. You know how long I've been holding this file? I was holding this file before. I think we used to go after Kamala, and I've been holding this Constitution screenshot for a while, so that brothers can understand the real Constitution, and that's why everyone's really, really mad. I always forget about it because I get caught up in these damn sisters turning on us. I get caught up in these sisters turning on us so much that I forget my damn Constitution files. Well, this is the whole birthright citizen shit. I don't know if that's the right file. Let me get another one. I got a few of them. Because it's kind, you got to kind of read it in order. Here we go. Got this one as well. Because this whole 14th Amendment shit was about Indians and people with dual citizenship. You understand? We're going to get to that, though. I just wanted to set that up because we're going to read it out.
Been an issue of it being reciprocated. Absolutely. I personally, though, during this particular moment in time, have not seen the same kind of mass calling for African-American support as we normally do. Personally, I've not seen that. I'm not saying they're not one-off situations, but to the degree of the response I'm seeing, it does not seem that call is matching. So, but to me, especially as a content creator that has made videos talking about these protests and encouraging people to do what they can to support, I can tell you for a fact, as soon as there's anybody that's pushing anybody to do anything, there's going to be a Black person that's saying, I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting down, I'm resting, or whatever. And I know this because it's happened to me. I've made videos talking about how you can help, how.
There you have it, Black man. These are your sisters. Just listen to your sisters.
Should somebody give me the word, send a smoke signal, send me a text, a phone call, knock on my door?
So by now, I'm sure you've all heard that the rioters are planning to mobilize and staging a nationwide protest on the 14th in all the major cities. And I live in Chicago, so that's considered a major city. And I have so much to say, but it's not going to.
Y'all, not this lady in these comments trying to gaslight.
Damn, our sisters are messed up.
Attention all illegal migrants and their supporters. Please stop leaning in on Black Lives Matter back in 2020. Black Lives Matter was a big scam. It was the biggest scam since cauliflower buffalo wings, okay? They were fake and them wings sure enough fake, okay? Some of you guys are making videos talking about why Black people are not standing with the illegal migrants. Number one, you're illegal. That's why. Number two, not all Black people are built the same, okay? Because I didn't stand with the fakeness of Black Lives Matter back in 2020, and I'm sure not standing.
And the funny thing is, when you get a say you get a decent looking black, so Black women look weird, and then when you get a decent looking Black woman, she got a voice like Ebony K. Williams. She got a voice like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Yo, we got some of the weirdest. What Kevin Samuels said? Hold on, Kevin Samuels said that shit. He said these bitches are some of the weirdest bitches I ever seen. Where's that shit at? Kevin Samuels said
these spiritual, earthy, and being. I mean, some of the weirdest stuff.
Kevin said these bitches are some of the weirdest bitches, man. Kevin Samuels was a hardcore nigga, man. He said these bitches are weird.
Imagine telling us it's not about race and why are we making it a race thing, and then proceeding to explain exactly why it indeed is a race thing. Because, baby girl, you started the video saying, since y'all want to make it a race thing, let me make something clear. Why do you think these people are being deported? Why do you think it was Black people telling y'all who to vote for? And I know you said you didn't vote for Trump. I understand. But why are you rapping?
There you go. Nobody wants to hear that part. Nobody wants to hear that part. That Black women are upset at the Latinos for voting for Trump. And now they're saying, well, it's the fakest shit you ever heard. No, we're resting. No, bitch, you support Trump putting their ass out. Let's be clear. Because it's you want it both ways. You wanted Kamala to win so you could be happy and the immigrants could flood the nation. But now that they didn't have Kamala win, you with Trump, put their ass out. Like, these are some mean people, man. I'm telling you.
No King's Day is June 14th. If you plan on protesting, here are some things you may need to know. Cover all.
Think about what they're saying. Don't y'all get it? No King's Day. Uh-oh, something just crossed my mind, guys. Uh-oh. 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 I think we got something. This whole thing was about us because it's no King's Day protest. And I was like, bitch, I'm a king. But then I said to myself, hold on, no Queen's Day. Hold on, no Queen's Day. See, a lot of you guys are not as radical as I am, and I understand. Some of those black women in Texas, they get down with Mexican guys. Oh, man. No Queen's Day. I like it. No Queen's Day, because this ain't about just no kings with Donald Trump. This is no men are kings. Bitch, I'm a king. I am a king. Fuck you mean? So, okay, no Queen's Day. I like it, guys. I like it. I like it.
Your tattoos. If you gotta wear long sleeves in the heat, do that shit. Do not wear paraphernalia.
Hey, Brandon, I'm in New York. I'm in New York. This shit was gonna be blue no matter what I did. Why the fuck would I go out there? Bro, I have pride. I have high self-esteem. I ain't got to go out there and vote for Trump knowing this shit gonna be blue anyway. That's stupid. Like, I know this shit gonna be blue.
Wear everything plain. If you got to wear all black, wear all black. But do not wear anything that they could scan and find you in another picture with. Stay hydrated because it's going to get hot outside. Make sure you pack protein bars and water. Water to clear your eyes if there's smoke bombs going off, and for you to hydrate yourself. If you want to, bring you some goggles. That tear gas is a bitch. Make sure you line your face with Vaseline so it doesn't seep through the goggle. Scarf to cover your mouth. You don't want to inhale all that shit. Plus, you don't want to be recognized. If you are recording, please do not record anybody that's protesting. They will look through social media pages to find you, and you don't want that type of smoke. If you plan on marching in Washington, D.C., there are barricades up everywhere. Please be mindful. He wants that smoke. Please be peaceful as you're protesting. If you're going to carry one flag, carry the other one too. Hell, I don't even like that idea. Cut the flags down the middle and sew them hoes together. That'll really piss them off. But be safe and always be with a partner. Do not go.
See how clever your black sisters are? See how clever these women are? Yo, so put both flags, sew them down the middle. She's clever. She's forward thinking, but not when she's with a man. These bitches ain't shit.
Dolo. Have a buddy. Stay as far away from police as possible. When they tell you to back up, back the fuck up. You do not want to get arrested. You don't want to be tear gassed. You don't want to be beaten. Keep these protests as peaceful as possible so this man cannot declare martial law, because that is his goal. So he can have executive power over every state. Let's not give it to him, but make sure that y'all go out and have a good ass time. And if you can, wish Obama a happy birthday.
Hey, that's where you know she don't know what she's talking about. That's where she knows she don't know what she's talking about. Wow, it's illegal to cut the flag. Wow, I didn't know that. See, New York. See, right now, Eric Adams, he went up to the White House to bend the knee before Trump, and he is going to make sure that New York City is not having anything. New York City, so every state is not going to get, no executive power. It's the same thing, but some states are not having it, and some cities are not having it. That sun is not going to hurt us. What is going to hurt other people, but it's not right. But they speak for other people. They don't speak for black men, son. Don't you get it?
Hey, TikTok. So
Can't stand these motherfuckers, tell you the truth.
So as you know, I live in LA and there have been some protests recently about ICE raids and immigration. And there's a lot of nuance going behind it. But I've noticed that a few people are starting to bring division into this. Like there's some Hispanic people that are specifically calling out Black people, being like, why aren't Black people doing this? Why aren't Black people doing that? I think they are CIA agents. And the same for Black people, being like, we need to ignore it. We need to ignore it. I'll address those later, but I want to say, first of all, why is the Hispanic community directly calling out Black people when we are the ones who overwhelmingly voted against Trump? And
there you go. There you have it. Yo, guys, it's still a learning experience. Don't forget, this is still about Black women and learning how, you know, horrible they are. We used to love the Black woman. You understand? But listen to her. Listen to her. She's so stupid. She's so stupid, right? That she don't realize she's calling herself a traitor all in the same breath. We told y'all to vote for Kamala. Being that you didn't vote for Kamala, I hope Trump kick y'all the fuck out. So, bitch, was you with them or was you not with them? No, you wasn't with anybody because you a turncoat. It's wild. They don't even see that they're saying that. It's crazy.
Directly calling out Black people when we are the ones who overwhelmingly voted against Trump and for Kamala Harris. It is not our fault that these ICE raids are happening because we did our part. Why?
Because we did our part. So basically, we're gonna do this CNN argument. It was a CNN argument last night, right? And they was like, hey, Trump said they had raided some factories and stuff like that. And they was like, and the bitch was like, yeah, those are American jobs. All of these factories, all of these things, these are American jobs. Why the fuck shouldn't Americans have that? And it's crazy how they're arguing against that. So basically, this Black woman on the screen is saying, if y'all would have voted for Kamala with us, y'all could have came and took all the American jobs. But being that y'all didn't, bye-bye. That's a traitor.
And it's just also the fact that you're publicly calling out Black people. It's the same anti-Blackness that makes you think that we are your slaves, that we're the help. You're like, oh my God, we need more bodies. Black people, where are you going? Black people, come here. No, go talk to the Asian community, the white community, other Hispanics. Why are you publicly calling out Black people? And also call to your leaders. The actors, the actresses, politicians, musicians, why aren't they here doing anything and leading anything? That's the problem. You don't want to do anything. You want Black people to come and take over it and do the work for you. No, get some leadership. Go talk to your local officials and get some shit shaking. Don't just sit here on TikTok and like, Black people. I'm not here to save you. Save yourself and go ask someone else for help. Go ask.
That's her mindset right there. She ain't here to help nobody.
Ask the Asian community why they aren't there when actually, let me get the fact. Yeah, according to the LA Times, 39% of Asian Americans voted for Trump. So call them out. They have more leadership. They have more resources. They can actually do something. Do not call on the people that have historically been brutalized to come support.
Here we go. Historically been brutalized. If your people have historically been brutalized, wouldn't that make you want to be together as a people? Wouldn't that make you want people to be together in the Black community? Come on, man. These people are full of shit.
When your communities are historically some of the most racist to us. Now, I completely understand because I have Hispanic friends. I live in LA. This is something that I understand isn't just a race thing. It's more about a class thing. And
there you have it, brothers. All right. Let's move on. We got more. I love my sisters, baby. It's just that you don't know who's an immigrant. You don't know, like, everybody done took our Black sisters' image.
PSA to all the illegal immigrants living in the United States of America. Listen up. I don't care how long you've been in this country. I don't care if you claim, you say you pay taxes. I don't care if you claim that you're a hardworking citizen. I don't care how long your parents have been in this country. If you are not born in this country rightfully with your citizenship, you are an illegal immigrant. Y'all want to come on the internet and protest and say,
To be honest, I'm mixed. I'm Hispanic and Black. I know that'll matter to some. I know that matter to some, and whatever. Point is, like, it's quite sad. Like, I hate hearing, like I could understand both sides because one side might feel hurt, the other side might feel hurt. Truthfully, at the end of the day, we're all human. Like, why can't we just stand together, be there together? Like, obviously, most of us.
You don't get to say that. I don't give that a pass, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't give somebody saying we're all human. I cannot give a person who has aborted 1,000 babies a day say that we're all human. These are some of the fakest people I've ever heard speak, man.
Obviously, most of us is not rich. Most of us is living that minimum wage type life. Most of us don't got our shit together, some may or whatnot. And those who do, really, like, most, if you don't notice, like,
yo, we are fucked up, man. Come on, man.
When I was 5 years old, my dad got deported. I was born in Miami, Florida. My dad is an immigrant from Dominican Republic, and my mom is an American citizen, but her parents are immigrants from Haiti. My dad was
Hold on, pimp. Hold on. She's a chocolate, dark-skinned woman. Why would she put that color on her face? What color is she trying to turn into, son? Dog, she's a beautiful, dark-skinned woman. What's going on? What's wrong with her face right now? What's wrong? I mean, you know, as far as her beauty, I want to see what's going to happen to her face.
I was 5 years old, my dad got deported. I was born in Miami, Florida. My dad is an immigrant from Dominican Republic.
That's an off color. What?
But her parents are immigrants from Haiti. My dad was a taxpayer and a really hard worker. He worked sometimes 4 to 5 jobs at a time just to.
She's going lighter.
He worked so
what the
hard
fuck?
From the years 1999 to 2004 that he ended up being able to buy my mother a property. However, in Miami, Florida, my dad would have run-ins with the police officers, and they would kind of try and embarrass my dad. It was very evident by his.
Ma'am, you're black. Why would you be using orange? What type of shit is this? Hold on. Hold on. Ma'am, you're using orange on black. Or, well, the only orange on brown is like the Cleveland Browns. Well, let's just see.
Or Haitian accent that he was from somewhere else. And oftentimes police officers would pull him over and make him read, would pull him over and dehumanize him. Get on your knees, do this, you're left and you're right. Do you know what this means? They would antagonize my dad. My dad ended up getting caught up in a lot of mess, trying to help my mother, who was a drug addict. It got so bad that my dad was like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to take Nina and take her to Haiti because I don't think that she has a fit mother. Because my mother was a drug addict, my dad worked multiple jobs to make sure that not only did I not go without, but my family, my mom, my sisters, my brother, and my grandmother. I was also being raised by my Haitian French grandmothers. One was an American citizen, that was my grandmother, and her mother, my great-grandmother, was not an American citizen. Now, when my grandmother ended up passing around the time when my dad was threatening to take me to our country, My grandmother fell sick, and my great grandmother was going to take her to the hospital. Mind you, she didn't have a driver's license. She didn't have anything. This is in Miami, Florida. She doesn't speak English. She was really, really scared. Now, when people talk about
What the fuck?
Black immigrants, when people talk about immigrants, sometimes they leave out Black immigrants, and I really wish that they wouldn't, because within the model minority myth and within the intersectionality,
Wow.
you know, different types of Black people, my mother was affected by the crack epidemic that hit the Black community. My mother was heavily, heavily affected by that, and because she had parents who were immigrants, they didn't know how to help her in an American system. No one's a drug addict on the islands. Nobody's a drug addict to that extent on the islands, and it's not that accessible on the islands. So my father was looking at that and trying to figure out the best way to help my mother. Not even to help my mother, but to help me get out of the situation. The crime was going up in Miami, Florida at the time, and my grandmother was dying. My great-grandmother decided, you know what, if my daughter stays in this bed for one more day, she's probably going to die. So she ended up trying to help my grandmother out of bed, which is
Yo, this bitch is crazy.
up, and my grandmother had been bleeding.
Yo, this bitch is
She was
crazy.
on dialysis, and she was bleeding and peeing and pooping on herself so much that you guys to understand, my great grandmother, she looked more Black. She knew her daughter had passed away. She knew your papers. Waited until my sister, who was 9 years old,
Unbelievable.
and by I know a lot of people don't consider Black people immigrants.
Why she want to look like that?
Passing, because that does give us a lot of, well, a lot of people think that Haitian people are ugly. They think that we are the
Ma'am, you think you're ugly. Look at what you're doing to yourself.
poorest country. They think that we are the dirtiest people, and in reality, our people are so big on community and love and light and supporting each other and embracing our African.
Look, she's look, she's turning. Look right up there. Up there is her real skin tone on her forehead. Look what color she's turning herself. Look. See it right there? See the difference? She's turning herself into a lighter person.
Our African side and our Latino side. And I just grew up in a really loving household that was basically.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't expecting no shit like that. I'm sorry about that, though.
African Americans are not included in immigrant statistics. This is something, and I just saw a video, and it irked me. Somebody got this wrong. African Americans are not included in immigrant statistics. When they say the highest number of immigrant doctors, or the highest number of immigrant engineers, or the highest number of immigrant whatever in technology or whatever, it's not including Black Americans.
Women do not give a man a chance either way. They have a low self-esteem, but a man can see value in her. Facts. Facts. That is true. That is very, very true. And that's the problem. They actually have lost the humanity. They think that we live like that. They think that we are barbarians. See what I'm saying? And they try to live like that. It's the wildest shit you ever saw. They think we are actually barbarians. African and British Black women in North America, those women want to be white so bad. It's sad. It is sad.
Those stats are not including Black Americans. Even if they say of the Black immigrant population, that is not including Black Americans. So stop thinking that it does, because it doesn't, because we aren't immigrants, okay? And I know a lot of you aren't going to believe me just off my word, so, okay, it never did include us, because we aren't an immigrant population. I think in the United States of America, I could be wrong, but the largest Black immigrant population.
This bitch here. It's crazy, man. Let me catch something recently.
Good morning. Let's talk about the word immigrant. Because what if I told you that that word is used so casually and so often? And
I don't know what happened to us, dog. Don't you get it? We are fucked up.
If you are a Black woman or a woman of color working in corporate.
Hold on.
If you came over here illegally and undocumented, the government rounding you up and taking you back to where you come from is not illegal, because what you did was illegal. But this is my thing. Instead of rounding people up, uprooting their lives, causing so much pain, distraught, and confusion as a government, why aren't you just allowing them to do the proper documentation? If they're not a menace to society, they've moved here, they've built a...
Let's break this down. This is a good one, Brandon. Hey, where Brandon at? That nigga, where my niggas at? The colorism with them is so real. You know how many times I've been called light bright by these bitches? Ain't no skin tone. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something, that nigga. Ain't no skin tone you could be to appease Black women. Because if you regular brown, they're gonna call you a clown and gay. If you light bright, they're gonna call you light bright. If you're black and greasy, there ain't no skin tone that works, King. Don't think because I'm brown skin I get a pass. I'm the one. The brown skin niggas get called gay. Don't you get it? You hear me? We get called clowns, gay, bitch ass. Oh, it's everything. I was like, I had to learn that shit early. I was like, listen, man, I'm from the fucking street. I cannot be caught up in no clown ass bitch who ain't put no work in the street. I know you just talking. Think why there's bread ginger war being heavy here in the United States. It's these foreign, of course it's the foreigners. But I don't like when Black women talk about babies and families. I don't like it.
And taking you back to where you come from is not illegal, because what you did was illegal. But this is my thing. Instead of rounding people up, uprooting their lives, causing so much pain.
Ma'am, instead of deleting babies and causing so much pain, pay attention, guys.
Distraught and confusion. The government, why aren't you just allowing them to do the proper documentation?
Why won't you allow the baby to just grow in your body and be born? Pay attention, guys.
A menace to society. They've moved here. They've built a life here. They've had children here.
Why can't that baby be born and have children as well? Why you don't care about that?
Are we sending them back to a place that they probably don't even know anymore?
Why are you getting rid of the baby so he could never even be born in the first place?
Main thing would be to let them become documented citizens.
The main thing would be to keep reproducing your Black babies and don't destroy your community. Strengthen your community.
Workshops. Make sure they get their paperwork in instead of just being a fucking ignorant ass.
Make sure these children are loved and educated instead of being an ignorant ass.
Of just being a fucking ignorant ass asshole.
We are living in a sad ass time. She couldn't have said it no better than me, guys. You hear me? Harris, she wasn't for the community anyway because she was married to a white man. Facts. How that show you a good example for brother? Brother Brandon, you are way too smarter than this. You know these bitches are delusional. Why they want them over here in the first place? It's going to be so crowded. All right, Brandon, let's have a conversation. Let's do it. All right. Here we go, Brandon. In the black community, they shamed welfare. They shamed baby mamas. They shamed men having babies. They fought for independence. Let me talk to you. Right? After that, they said they will have babies if that man is financially stable, if he got a house, a car, or everything, right? They didn't change how they acted, right? And they thought men would continue to do that for people who ain't shit, right? That stopped, right? So now, instead of them being welfare baby mamas and welfare couples and marriages, right? They decided to be alone and spend their money on pets and animals and body enhancements, right? Guess what happened on the other side? They let the Mexicans come in, right? Guess what the Mexicans want? The Mexicans want the welfare, and they man can have a job standing around Home Depot, and they gonna make his babies. They ain't deleting shit. Now, while that continues to go on, not only are millions of immigrants coming here, they're also reproducing like 3 to a family, while black women are deleting every black person that walks. Well, 99%. All right? And black women want a stable man and all that so she could have a baby, while the Mexican and the immigrant women, their man could go to Home Depot, pull in motherfucking $30 a day. And that woman's going to be happy, and she's going to reproduce, and she's going to make families, and she's going to be on welfare, and she's going to stand on the free food lines all day, and she's going to go to Burlington Coat Factory and buy her dresses and stuff, and she's going to be happy. She's not going to sit around dreaming that she could be like Nene Leakes. And that is how the black community has been destroyed. It's a numbers game. Immigrants come over, they reproduce. Black women won't reproduce, and to reproduce, they want all of these things from a man when they ain't shit in the first place. Mexican woman ain't shit either, but she's reproducing and she's doing the best she could with her family, and she's not trying to live this stupid life because it's all about get rich or die trying. So she ain't trying to get rich or die trying. If things happen, they're going to be steady. And guess what's going to happen? In the next 15 to 20 years, as it already started, all of the schools and graduates and city council and everything are going to be immigrants who have degrees and everything, because their parents didn't care about what they had. They was pushing the next generation forward. See what I'm saying? So it's a real story. You hear me? Like, it's so fucked up what happened. So now you don't even got pure-blooded black people anymore. While the Mexicans and all the other people, they're pure-blooded. They're coming over here. They're just making babies, getting on welfare. Their babies won't be on welfare, though. And they don't. And black women just lost all concept of community growth. And they live in a life where after they die, they couldn't give a fuck if it was another black community. It's just like the WNBA. The WNBA is about the dumbest bitches you ever seen. They don't want to have no babies, so they want to be the first and the last bitches to play. So, and they believe that all women should be lesbians. So nobody would have fucking babies, so it wouldn't be no more fucking league. Yo, these people are, brothers, these people have ruined us, man. I'm telling you. And nobody wants to say what ruined America. It was pussy. It was pussy. It was pussy.
So now that the House of Representatives has effectively passed a bill that now will go to the Senate that will legally allow the administration to deport U.S. citizens, I have some follow-up points of negotiation.
Oh, ho.
So I get to pick the destination.
Yo, hold on.
If you give
Hold on. I was about to get my tea. Hold on. I was about to get my tea, but I think this got something with the Constitution right here. So when they say, hold on. This got something to do with the Constitution. Hold on. Here we go right here. All right. Damn, I can't see it on the screen. Hold on. Now, the reason why they will be deporting U.S. citizens is as follows. It says, it's a little bit clipped off, but it says, Indians being subject to our jurisdiction, they are not subject to our jurisdiction in the sense of owning allegiance solely to the United States. Okay, we're going to read the rest of it. But remember, if you have dual citizenship somewhere, in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, it says you have to fall under the solely jurisdiction of the United States. If you have dual citizenship, you cannot fall under any other jurisdiction. We don't give a fuck if you're an ambassador, a diplomat. If you fall under any other jurisdiction, you can be deported. You are not a full citizen. And that's why the Indian tribes and all of them, they have a deal with the federal government. You understand? Yo, talk your shit, Brandon.
a list of like 5 to 10 countries, I will elect my top 3 and you get back to me on what you can do with that. Number 2, you're going to cancel my student loans, right? Because I can't use my education obtained here in the next country. I will have to go back to school. So you should probably go ahead and cancel that, as well as credit me back all the money that I have busted my ass to pay to you to pay those student loans off. Number 3, can I volunteer as tribute? Do we have to commit a crime to be deported? Is there a list to sign up? I think that would be a great idea if you're trying to like offload some people. I think many would volunteer for this. Number 4, credit scores, debt. You're going to cancel that, right? Because if I'm no longer a citizen, I don't think I should have to adhere to credit scores or pay back any debt that I acquired as a citizen here. That should be like null and void. I think that's a great idea. Number 5, are you paying for my move? I think there should be like some incentive, reimbursement, relocation assistance. I think you should pay for it. As long as I didn't commit a crime to get deported, if I volunteered, I think it should be on your dime.
Sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to give you guys something else. Hold on. Let's read this other one real quick. Here we go. Here we go right here, guys. I got something for you. Hold on. This will not, of course, include persons born in the United States who are foreigners. Hold on, I can't see that shit. Aliens who belong to the families of ambassadors. I can't see that shit, son. Okay, foreign ministers according to the government of the United States. I got to read the whole thing for you guys because these are the outlines, but they was basically saying, hey, we don't give a fuck. Well, yeah, that's what they were saying. We don't give a fuck if you're an ambassador. We don't give a fuck who you are. If you fall under another jurisdiction other than the United States, you are not a U.S. citizen. These were the arguments that Congress had back in 1865.
This girl I went to college with, she is originally from the Ukraine. Now she is a citizen, but a lot of her family is not. And they came here after the war started. Her cousin just got some papers talking about you need to self-deport or we're about to come pick you up. Apparently this is happening to a lot of Ukrainians and just people who are from European countries. On Facebook to express her irritation of why European countries are being left out of the deportation conversation. Because they are being deported, right? And I left a comment and it pissed some people off. It pissed a lot of people off. But what I said, in my humble opinion, the reason why they're leaving European countries out of it is because most people can't tell the difference between a Ukrainian woman and Kaylee from Alabama with the EIGH in her name. Trump is a lot of things, but slow is not one of them. Sometimes that man knows that he can't have these big burly men shipping off some blonde hair, blue-eyed little girl, because then America will have sympathy for them. Supporters would then challenge him on why you would deport somebody back to an act of war. People were pushing back like that's not the reason why. It's because there's not that many Ukrainians. It's not that many European here. Yes, it is. I used to work at the Hip Mall in Chicago. Half of the motherfuckers is not legal. The reason why European countries are being left out of this conversation about deportation, even though they're still being deported, is because he knows his fan base will have more sympathy for a European girl than a Mexican girl.
Sound like Trump is pretty smart, huh? Sound like Trump know what he doing out here, right?
What should you do if you're from Haiti?
Hold on. Sometimes it shifts like that, B.
Oh, and just one more.
Sometimes it messes up like that, B.
I am a daughter of immigrants, and I find it incredibly disturbing to see what is going on with ICE. And for someone to devalue somebody just because of where they were born or because of their immigration status or whatever is beyond me, because immigrants come to this country and provide more jobs. They build companies. They do work that many of us don't want to do. They do put in all of the work and have stimulated this economy, stimulated this country, made this country better time and time again. And surprise, surprise, here we are yet again, being mistreated, being dehumanized, devalued, and treated quite terribly.
Yeah, you have it, black brothers. She's gonna pose like she's a black woman. You understand me?
Come here. Tell me if you're thinking what I'm thinking. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but
Tell me if you thinking what I'm thinking. Ma'am, I'm thinking, do you got gray hair on your pussy? Do you got gray hair on your pussy?
tell me if you're thinking what I'm thinking. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but it's gonna be a lot of brass, a lot of top officials, a lot of important people in one place this Saturday.
We are fucked
There's
up.
gonna be a lot of military equipment on show, just for show, not being used, just for show.
We are fucked up.
But are they ready for something? If something like that were to happen, are they ready? I mean, are they truly ready?
This is what your black women sit around dealing with.
Because I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too. I mean, I'm not going to do anything about it because I'm not going to be. You couldn't find me nowhere near Washington, D.C. with a 2,000-mile long stick.
There you have it, black man. I don't think they understand what they're saying. Ma'am, you're not going to be with anybody.
Because I don't want to be nowhere near that area. Because ain't no telling what's going to happen. But yeah, they flying around in helicopters showing everything that's going to be done and how everything going to be set up and where he going to be standing. Sometimes you got to move in silence, Cheeto.
Oh, the way that the black, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I am not going to say that. No, you niggas ain't getting me in trouble.
Hey guys, just a protest safety reminder. It's a great thing to spread word about these protests, to say hey, here are the protests in these areas. Don't announce you're going to one. They will track that and they will try to arrest you. That's just, please be safe. Because these police officers, this military.
I mean, she's not talking to a guy. She's talking to all women.
Hey, TikTok, I've been seeing a lot of illegal immigrants saying, oh, black people are next to be deported. Where the hell they going to deport me to? Back home to Chicago? Come on now. You got to be kidding me. Matter of fact, I wasn't born in Chicago. I was born in Hawaii, the Big Island. Deport me back there. Let me give you illegal immigrants a little American history. Black people helped build America. You know that? Build America. You know that stop light that you stop at? A black man invented that.
Ma'am, here we go again, guys. Ma'am, you couldn't give a fuck about a black man. If you don't stop, you know you don't give a damn about no black man. Yo, these people are something else, man. Yo, that shit is crazy. Where that bitch come from? Where does bitch come from?
I really don't think a lot of Trump supporters, a lot of left, whatever side you're on, I don't think people understand the severity of the situation when it comes to the ICE raids. Because everyone wants to push out this ideal of, oh, we're getting these criminals out, we're getting these criminals out. But 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. As the daughter of an immigrant, I vividly remember growing up having to help my dad do so many things. I was writing probably Western Unions at like 7. Like, I was doing those things for him because he was trying to support this family while going home to support his family back home, as in where he's from. So just imagining me going to my elementary school graduation and seeing my father taken away from me, I don't know, I don't think y'all understand the mental effect that those children are going to have on them for the rest.
Here we go again, guys. Let's talk about it. She's not getting away with that. She's not getting away with that. I'm sick of hearing this. I'm sick of hearing this, man. I'm sick of hearing this, man. I am sick of hearing this. She's worried about babies. Ma'am, y'all delete all the black babies. You don't give a fuck about humanity.
I don't know, I don't think y'all understand the mental effect that those children are going to have on them for the rest of their lives.
Unbelievable.
Built this nation on their backs to get it taken from them. And I don't think you guys understand how difficult it is to become a U.S. citizen. That process is nothing light at all. The average person can't even afford to become a United States citizen. And then the citizenship test. If we go sit in front of a Trump supporter's face right now and give them that test, I promise you they're not going to pass it.
Most of us won't even pass it because there's things on there that we don't even really learn in school or barely learn or barely touch on. So the fact that you guys see immigrants as these criminals and these disgusting people who come to our land and take our jobs, but you guys don't understand the strengths and the obstacles they have to go through to even try to become legal in this country.
Ma'am, they're legal in their own country. I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it's me. We, the Congress of the 13 United States of America, has been informed of your majesty's favorable regard to the interests of the people. We represent and assure you of our earnest desire to You talking about some big back hypocrites. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So I'm from Southern California and I've lived in LA for like the past 15 years. I have never once in my entire life thought anything about immigrants. Like I have never thought like, oh my God, immigrants, they're people, they're humans, they live here.
Here we go again, guys. We got another dumb bitch talking. Let's get to it. Ma'am, the babies that the black women delete are humans. Ma'am, the babies that the black women take the morning after pill for are humans. No, I know what you're going to say. Well, they're having families with men that's not stable. Immigrants, they're coming over here walking from the jungle, having families with men that are not stable, and they're outbreeding you. What about that? You don't care about humanity.
Like, oh my God, immigrants, they're people, they're humans.
Those babies that's getting deleted are humans.
They work with us. They go to school with us. They are at the same like coffee shops we go to.
Ma'am, your community's not reproducing, and their community is reproducing heavily, about 4-1, 5-1. So all the schools will just be them. But do you care as a black woman? No.
I don't understand this fixation on immigrants. It's literally so strange to me. And then I'm like, is it the privilege of me living in LA and us being like a melting pot of literally every single culture, every background, every religion, every ethnicity? I just don't care about like I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. People are here. They came here for a better life. And is the life really better? Like, is it real?
There you have it, black men. There you have it. There you have it, man. Let me find this thing real quick, man. Let me let that play while I find it.
It's so infuriating, honestly, to think of what ICE is doing to these innocent people. And like more specifically, I think about the children because I have 2 young children, and thinking of children getting snatched up and kidnapped,
Thinking of young black babies being aborted and destroyed, that's not something that you give a fuck about? That's what the fuck you should be out there talking about.
children seeing their parents get kidnapped.
Unbelievable.
Thinking about children being taken from their foster homes. Like, do you all understand the level of trauma that is being inflicted on these kids? Like,
unbelievable.
I don't understand how hateful this is. I read that children.
Hold the fuck up. Ma'am, your community deletes all of their babies. You have nothing to say about that, but you care about somebody else's babies.
Like, do you all understand the level of trauma that is being inflicted on these kids? Like, I don't think you understand how hateful this is. I read that children as young as infants are being taken from their freaking foster homes.
I heard that black women are deleting 1,000 babies a day. Why do you care about children? Why do you cannot make me think you give a damn. You are more loud about someone else's children than your own damn children being reproduced. Unfucking believable.
Thinking about children being taken from their foster homes. Like, do you all understand the level of trauma that is being inflicted on these kids? Like, I don't think you understand how hateful this is. I read that children as young as infants are being taken from their freaking foster homes. What is wrong with us? Literally, what is wrong with us? So, for me and mine, it will be a big F you to ICE forever. And to anybody who voted for Trump who says they're a Christian, because I've got a couple of people that I still have not blocked on my Facebook who claim that they are Christians, who voted for this fuckhead. How dare you? You should be ashamed of yourself.
She's a Christian and she support baby deletion. Crazy work, guys. Crazy work. They've been Planned Parenthood all over the hood here in Texas. It's Mexicans everywhere because they don't believe in that shit, dumbass black bitches. HD Live, what's good? Keisha been a double agent. I never trust them in politics. They only want to see that master table. HD Live, cook up. So is she doing her genealogy? If she is, she needs to stop because she wants to give it to the foreigners. This is how people think about their people. They do not want to give nothing to people. Right now, they are all at the casino blowing money, not saving retirement. Man, you know that. You know that. You know that.
I came across this video and this content creator is asking, why hasn't anyone asked the Asian community for help? Let's watch her video and then I will help answer her question.
I seen someone ask this question and it got me to thinking, you're right. Why haven't the Latin community called on the Asians that's in California to go out and march and help? Why is the call of action only to Black people? I just really want to know. Because they call themselves the model minority. So they're supposed to be smarter, more educated. This is all per them. Why haven't y'all called them Asians?
So since I'm an Asian American residing in the state of California, I think I can best answer this question. We, the model minority, as you state, the more educated one is always the more sensible one. We have been taught to learn common sense. We don't follow anybody. We were taught by our parents to think for ourselves. Now, I'm going to tell you more, but let me hand it over to my mother and she can explain to you in her native tongue why there hasn't been a call for action.
Oh, hold on. What? Oh. Yo, Black women, they're going to get themselves in a war. And yo, they're going to get themselves in a war that bro, they're on their own. The Asian community clap back. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yo, the Asian, yo, black women gotta stop starting wars everywhere, B. Unbelievable.
Filipinos. So I'm sitting here watching about the ice raids, right?
Damn, she got a fucked
And
up
let me say
voice.
this. If you are an African American, this is for you. Don't get in that. The strategy is beginning with different ethnicities. Okay.
Hold on, let's go to this June 14th protest. No King's Day. No, yo, we coming up with no Queen's Day. Because this shit ain't about Trump. They trying to take our king. They're trying to take our royal air from us, son. They said no King's Day. Brothers, all of you brothers are kings, son. No Queen's Day. No Queen's Day, son.
Quick reminder, June 14th, no King's Day. Peaceful protests. Come out and make your voices be heard. Okay? Democracy is in the balance. Quick reminder.
I'm telling y'all, this is some no King's Day against men. Let's see what this dumb nigga got to say.
If you haven't heard of No King's Day, I'm going to explain it to you. Basically, it's a narrative warfare tactic to sandwich some actions from the White House with communications efforts before and after and take the power away from essentially their attempt at narrative warfare. On the 14th, President Trump is having this big spectacle, this show, where it could be like a military parade. And the idea is to essentially strike fear in anybody who has been his political enemy, whether they live in this country or not. So all across the country, look at this map. This is insane. All of those dots are where demonstrations are happening on the same day as his little spectacle, essentially to take the news cycle away from all of his efforts. The date is June 14th if you want to sign up for one of these protests. The link is going to be in my bio, especially if you're in Chicago, because I'm hearing.
Yo, these people are crazy, son.
Generations of Army heroes did not shed their blood on distant shores only to watch our country be destroyed by invasion and third world lawlessness here at home, like is happening in California. As Commander-in-Chief, I will not let that happen. It's never going to happen.
I think we're seeing the culmination of America's militarism. This is the final project, the result of everything that's happened since the Vietnam War, the war.
You see what I'm saying? Look at what she's talking about. This is a fake bitch. Yo, we fucked up out here, son.
All of the states of emergency, all the crackdowns on protests, they've all been leading here. The project of our two-party system, since the 90s at least, has managed to coincide with the overall goal of authority.
Right, that nigga. Don't you get it? That nigga. Hold on, that nigga. Talk to me, pimpin'. Hold on, King. Don't you see what I've been trying to show you? I've been trying to show you black women protesting Donald Trump's birthday with the military, and also no kings, no men. This shit ain't about Trump. This shit ain't about Trump, dog. So it's stuff going down. We need to ask ourselves, what can they do for us? They blow all their retirement money and cannot do type of work or do no type of reproducing kids. It's crazy. Keisha will let illegals over if it means they will be black men's replacement. Yo, we fucked up, family. All right, let's get a little law in. All right.
The 14th Amendment, like every amendment, like the Constitution itself, is a form of agreement by the parties who are bound to it. So what the parties to that agreement were contemplating is not just relevant, it controls the actual moral and legal scope of the agreement. To be explicit, what the adopters of the 14th Amendment were actually contemplating is more controlling on the scope of the amendment than is any later day interpretation of the amendment's language that would be inconsistent with their meeting of the minds. Context matters. Indeed, the context controls everything. So what was the context around the 14th Amendment? Well, we're lucky to have insight into this because we have records of the Senate debates around the 14th Amendment, largely captured in the congressional records of the debate from 1866, when the language of the amendment was being finalized, and 2 years before the final form of the amendment was ratified. I've included a link to the relevant congressional records in the description of today's show. Essentially, it consists of 8 pages from the Congressional Globe that all look more or less like this. And throughout this debate in 1866, it's clear that all of the parties agreed explicitly that the rule of birthright citizenship to be created by the 14th Amendment was literally not that merely being born on American soil was alone enough to gain American citizenship. At the very start of the debate, Senator Howard notes that, quote, "This 14th Amendment, which I offered, is simply declaratory of what I regard as the law of the land already, that every person born within the limits of the United States and subject to their jurisdiction is by virtue of natural law and national law a citizen of the United States." Now, this might sound like the very broad definition of birthright citizenship currently being pushed for by migrant advocates. Senator Howard, however, immediately in the next sentence follows this up by noting that not everyone born in the United States would automatically be a citizen. Quote, "This will not, of course, include persons born in the United States who are foreigners, aliens, or who belong to the families of ambassadors or foreign ministers accredited to the government of the United States."
3 shocking reasons why butter belongs in your smoothie.
The reason butter is called butter.
So right at the start of this debate is a recognition that someone can be born in the United States and yet still be a foreigner who would not be recognized as a citizen despite having been born in the United States. That should put to bed any claim that merely being born on American soil makes one an American citizen. Now, that quote of Senator Howard has been widely making the rounds on social media and would seem to settle this question of whether or not being born in the United States is alone sufficient for citizenship. Clearly, Senator Howard says it's not. When I saw that particular quote, however, I wanted to make sure it wasn't being taken out of context. After all, that's only one paragraph from one senator, and there are a total of 8 pages of record involving numerous senators. So I did the reasonable thing and carefully read all 8 pages of the 14th Amendment debate to see if there was any substantive disagreement, even a scintilla of disagreement, with the proposition that birthright citizenship would obviously be restricted only to particular classes of people, and that simply being born in the United States by itself was not sufficient. It was undisputed in the 1866 debate that up to this point in American history, merely being born on American soil was not enough to make one a citizen. Senator Cohen in the debate said, quote, "It is perfectly clear that the mere fact that a man is born in the country has not heretofore entitled him to the right to exercise political power of citizenship." So merely being born on American soil was not enough to be deemed an American citizen. Something more than that is required. And in fact, the 14th Amendment recognizes this and includes the additional condition, in addition to being born in the United States, of and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Remember, the 14th Amendment reads, "All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States." Now, modern advocates for broad birthright American citizenship for the whole world argue that this condition of subject to the jurisdiction thereof simply applies to everybody within the borders of the U.S. After all, anybody in the U.S. of any status is obliged to obey the laws of the United States. They can be brought before a United States court and so forth. Much like any of us visiting France would be subject to the jurisdiction of France. But it should be obvious that subject to the jurisdiction thereof, as used in the 14th Amendment, has to mean something more than simply being obliged to obey American laws because you're within America's borders. Because if that's all it meant, the phrase "and subject to the jurisdiction thereof" would simply be redundant with the first requirement of having been born in the United States.
Here we
When you're
go.
born and subject to the complete jurisdiction thereof.
Here we go.
With no allegiance to any other foreign nation. As described by Senator Trumbull, quote, the provision of the 14th Amendment is that all persons born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. That means subject to the complete jurisdiction thereof. What do we mean by subject to the jurisdiction of the United States? Not owing allegiance to anybody else. That is what it means. Now, that means that anyone who has a citizenship allegiance to any other nation, by definition, does not qualify under the condition of and subject to the jurisdiction thereof of the 14th Amendment for purposes of birthright citizenship, because a foreign national is also subject to the jurisdiction of their home nation and not completely to the United States.
You get it? Do you get it, guys? If you have, like, say you American, right? Like Dr. Umar Johnson, right? Dr. Umar Johnson, he went and got a citizenship out in Africa somewhere, right? Out in Ghana, right? At this point, he falls under another jurisdiction of citizenship. He can be deported. See, you have to solely, under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, you have to solely fall under the jurisdiction of the United States to be a complete citizen. Okay?
And again, this discussion would not even have occurred if simply being born in the United States alone automatically qualified as being subject to the jurisdiction thereof for Fourth Amendment purposes of citizenship. After all, the entire discussion is framed in the context of born in the United States already. In speaking of the Native American Indians, Senator Trumbull noted, quote, it cannot be said of any Indian who owes allegiance, partial allegiance, if you please, to some other government, his tribe, that he is subject to the jurisdiction of the United States.
Right there. So they made a deal with the Indians. That's why Indians have their own reservations. You understand? This is why Indians have their own shit. They do not fall under the jurisdiction of the United States. They are not citizens of the United States. They fought for their stolen land. And they have a deal with the federal government. Okay, guys?
He also said, quote, it is only those persons who come completely within our jurisdiction that we think of making citizens. Quote, I have already replied.
Now, who was the people that fell solely under the jurisdiction of the United States? Who was the people that fell solely under the jurisdiction of the United States? It was black people.
To the suggestion as to the Indians being subject to our jurisdiction. They, members of tribes, are not subject to our jurisdiction in the sense of owing allegiance solely to the United States. They would not be embraced by this provision of birthright citizenship of the 14th Amendment. Senator Johnson, in the same debate, noted, quote, now all this amendment provides is that all persons born in the United States and not subject to some foreign power, for that no doubt is the meaning of the committee who have brought this matter before us, shall be considered as citizens of the United States.
What more do you need to hear, guys? Now, all that this amendment provides is that all persons born in the United States and not subject to some foreign power, for that, no doubt, is the meaning of the committee who have brought the matter before us, shall be considered as citizens of the United States. Okay? Now, I know y'all saying, well, that equals birthright citizenship, but wait 1 second. He's going to talk about the ambassadors and all of these damn illegals.
This makes explicit that it is possible to be born in the United States and be subject to some foreign power, or none of this would need to be discussed. Senator Howard in the same debate noted, quote, I concur entirely with the honorable senator from Illinois in holding that the word jurisdiction, as here employed for purposes of citizenship, ought to be construed as to imply a full and complete jurisdiction on the part of the United States. Certainly, gentlemen cannot contend that an Indian belonging to a tribe meaning owing allegiance to some other national power, although born within the limits of a state, is subject to this full and complete jurisdiction for purposes of citizenship. That question has long since been adjudicated so far as the usage of the government is concerned. And Senator Williams in the same debate noted, in one sense, all persons within the geographical limits of the United States are subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, but they are not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States in every sense.
Let's read that back. Let's read that back for the blacks. In one sense, all persons born within the geographical limits of the United States are subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. But
take the child of an ambassador. In one sense, that child born in the United States is subject to the jurisdiction of the United States because if that child commits the crime of murder or commits any other crime against the laws of the country, to a certain extent, he is subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, but not in every respect.
Hey guys, this is U.S. Senator John Ossoff in Georgia.
see, the Constitution, they was on it.
Hear me out.
I understand the words here, subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, to mean fully and completely subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. And Senator Salisbury in the same debate made clear that the purpose of the 14th Amendment was to make citizens of the freed slaves and not to make citizens of others born on American soil who have allegiance to other sovereign powers. He argued, quote, I do not presume that anyone will pretend to disguise the fact that the object of this section, birthright citizenship, is simply to declare that freed slaves shall be citizens of the United
No. Let me read it. Let me read it for you guys. This nigga here. Yo, these white people are something else. Let me tell you what Mr. Salisbury said. He said, I do not presume that anyone will pretend to disguise the fact that the object of the first section is to simply declare that Negroes shall be citizens of the United States. I do not presume that anyone will pretend to disguise the fact that the object of the first section is to simply declare that Negroes shall be citizens of the United States.
Not presume that anyone will pretend to disguise the fact that the object of this section, birthright citizenship, is simply to declare that freed slaves shall be citizens of the United States. There can be no other object in it.
There could be no other object in it. Okay? The Negroes shall be citizens of the United States. There can be no other object in it. That's the only people who have birthright citizenship. That's what the Constitution led up to.
Of this section, birthright citizenship, is simply to declare that freed slaves shall be citizens of the United States. There can be no other object in it. In fact, it's uncontested that
that's why when people say, yo, Trump is racist, it's stupid. Trump is dealing with the Constitution. That's why he's doing this shit. They say he's racist. Well, he knows that this is about Negroes. The only people that should be here is Negroes. And then, you know, people who got their citizenship.
the primary driver behind the 14th Amendment, passed alongside the other civil rights amendments following the Civil War to end slavery, was to provide citizenship to the millions of freed slaves who would otherwise have been left stateless and without any citizenship whatever.
Now, why is that important? Why is that important? Because they made a deal with the Indians. The federal government made a deal with the Indians and gave them something, but the Constitution ain't give us shit. All they gave us was citizenship. You see what I'm saying, guys? You guys got to understand what happened. They said, we ain't giving these niggas, if we give them something and we give the Indians something, we ain't going to have shit. So let's give them citizenship. And that's why we tie it all the way up to the black woman nowadays. Look at what they did.
Or to end slavery was to provide citizenship to the millions of freed slaves who would otherwise have been left stateless and without any citizenship whatever.
Now, does that give it clear for you what the white people did to us and why the Indians get their money and why we're fighting for reparations? And when you hear dumb motherfuckers not understanding what reparations are, They don't get it. They don't know what happened. They didn't read. We were left stateless and citizen. We were inhumane. They had to fight for us, and they said, man, we gave the Indians all that. Well, we can't give the blacks nothing. Let's just give them citizenship. And yes, we made good with it. So let's take that. But we were supposed to have ours. We didn't get anything.
Or to end slavery was to provide citizenship to the millions of freed slaves who would otherwise have been left stateless and without any citizenship whatever. This rationale obviously does not apply to people who already possess citizenship to some foreign power, as the Native Americans did to their tribes, and as immigrants from foreign nations did to their home nations. It's notable that this Senator Salisbury is the only participant in the debate who makes any suggestion favorable to making even Native American citizens, noting later that, quote, if these freed slaves are to be made citizens of the United States, I can see no reason in justice or in right why the Indians should not be made citizens. If our citizens are to be increased in this wholesale manner, I cannot turn my back upon that persecuted race.
They know they persecuted the Indians, but they know they persecuted us as well. It's these whiteys was something else, boy. They was wearing those white wigs and shit like George Washington. They was cooking.
Should not be made citizens. If our citizens are to be increased in this wholesale manner, I cannot turn my back upon that persecuted race. Now, note that this consideration is specifically to Native Americans who were present in America for thousands of years before the settlers arrived, and with whom
you heard? Like we said yesterday, my grandmother told me I was Cherokee,
whom the Americans had already had a long coexisting relationship. This consideration was explicitly not extended to the world at large. So at this point, I've covered all 8 pages of the 14th Amendment Senate debate as recorded in the congressional record. And in every instance in which the question of birthright citizenship was discussed, the following were uncontested and represent the true meaning of the minds and the genuine meaning of the 14th Amendment statement that people born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are American citizens.
Okay, guys. Just had to give you a little bit of class on your Negro history, B. It was rough on us out there back in the days, man. So it is what it is, man. They done took our whole shit. You see what they try to do to the 14th Amendment? They took our shit and they're trying to throw it up here. So, man, this shit crazy, son. That shit crazy. But anyway, we got to come back with a class later. We did our thing. All right. Hopefully you learned something because, like I say, when you get to this Constitution, they was talking about 2 classes of people with birthright citizenship. And they still excluded the Indians because they said, we'll make a deal with y'all. They believed the Indians were persecuted, not us. But who the fuck knows, man? Who the fuck knows? It was rough in those times, okay? We just know that white people were discussing other people's lives. You hear me? That's what happened. So we'll come back with the class, guys.